shredded up. And it's more like, let's talk about something real.
Well, I got something real to ask you. You know, it's always, I mean, I've heard a little bit of the story before, but because you have been such an inspiration to me to like go all raw again and feel really good and remember how good it feels to be all raw. What is it that got you, what was the moment, the pivotal moment that you switched over to all raw?
Okay, I'll tell you the story. I was out on the streets of Seattle, had a backpack, sleeping here and there, wherever, kind of homeless, and I walked into a bookstore. And I believe I was quite inebriated at the time, but the dude said, "You want to know the real truth?" And I said, "Well, of course." And he said, handed me this $1 little pamphlet called The Essene Gospel of Peace. I took that, I put it in my backpack, and I said, "I'll read that tonight." So I went back and I opened this little book that was written like 2,000 years ago and then transcribed recently by an author. And it was just a little tiny thing. It cost $1. And I just read that, and it was about raw foods and fasting. And it said, "Fast and pray until the Lord of the house returns. Eat the living food, and the same will quicken you. For all that you eat that is cooked, rotten, and frozen will cook, freeze, and rot your body." And I had been a bodybuilder and eating tuna fish and egg whites and everything all these years. So I had a handle on it, drinking some wheatgrass too and carrot juice, you know, but then all of a sudden it was like, whoa, I got it. That made sense to me.
Yeah.
And all the vegetarian books and all the bodybuilding books and everything just clicked, and I was like, living foods, raw foods, and I just decided right then and there that's what I'm going to do. It took me 12 and a half years to get to be 100%, because 100% I thought every bite should be living, raw, active, you know, avocados and raw oils and raw nuts and seeds, and it took me a long time to educate, but now I've got a 100% raw, balanced program, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, you know, it's a real balanced thing, and you eat a lot less. You start getting more fed from like the wind and the dander and the insects, and the sound of the birds feeds you. But it depends on where you're at. If you're in the city, you're eating a lot more. If you're out here, it's like I'm just on coconuts, papayas, and pineapples. That's all I've had since I've been here. And you get that vitality.
Yeah.
Those mono meals, that's the truth. Like this stuff I'm making for y'all is a transition. So you're like, okay, that way you don't freak out. You're like, oh, I can make this at home. It's pretty easy to make. A little bit of nuts and seeds, some sea salt, whatever, some lemon, garlic. Then, you know, you start getting to where you really want to get it. That's when you eat like fruit, like an animal. One type of thing, two type, maybe three kinds of things. Mono meals. It digests. Your mind is clear. You start untying the knots that bind you to this world through simplicity, the laws of nature. Like, I just have so much reverence for the laws of nature that I intend to master them as much as possible. And that's self-mastery, your own self, because you know your appetites are like that. They like all that stuff, but that's just more of a temporary pleasure as opposed to a more consistent joy. You wake up in the morning, you know what I mean, and if your blood is clean and you don't have a hangover from the excessive consumption the night before. So if we all come from cooked foods and we go to the transition, that's a step up, because we're getting all those enzymes and that vitality, and it's stimulating. But then you get to another level where you want that clarity. That's where you step up your game with the juice fasting or the mono fruits, things like that. So that was the long, short version of the story. But I just read that book, and I was visited by a light, and it said, you just left off in your last lifetime with this.
So and that's the Essene Gospel that talks about that.
Yeah, and then I read all four and read all the Essene books. There's a whole bunch about the laws of nature and accessing the infinite, basically, the mystery, and actually becoming a master of formulating the mystery into what you want. And I like to call that imagination or assumption, or collapsing the way you function into an objective reality for yourself. But you have to like jump through. If you're working at McDonald's and you want to have your own business, you have to be living your own business already. You might be flipping burgers, but you're already there in your head. You already know it in your heart. You're already there doing whatever business you want to do. You're already there. You're living that already. So we're jumping from the objective, what we're seeing with our mortal eyes, to what we're seeing with the true eye, the faith, the eye of faith. And that's the eye that allows us to walk on water, I believe, because we really do believe that we vibrate that high. So that's what I see as just pure potential and faith to move a mountain. when the world's, all the world, 99.99999% of the people, they're all going to say it can't be done. You have to be one of the 0.0001 that says the impossible is made possible by my faith. Because this, it's up there. Every potential is just right there, just waiting for you to just make it. Happiness and health and joy, it can be. The world and all the scalar waves and all the programming, you're way more powerful than all that. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I like to share. And who cares if it's not true? It sounds good, it gives you hope. That you're an infinitely majestic, powerful, mysterious creator that can create any possibility. That thought alone is enough to ride out 20 lifetimes. But imagine if we could really see that as true, because why do these people have all these things? Because they just made that up in the back of their subconscious mind. So you're learning everything here to program, to release, because who doesn't have the not good enough, not worthy, all of us, not worthy, bull crap. That's what I'm saying. So if somehow we have to nurture each other enough and love each other enough to say, you can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can, because we are. Who could argue that we are infinite potential into just, that has just condensed itself into the flesh? I'll win every argument. Because we are that. You know what I mean?
And you keep bringing it around to the purity of food.
Because the foundation is off. I mean, your body's real. You're living in this thing, and this is where you're going to feel it and know it.
Yeah.
It's all great if it's up there in the ether, but if you can say, I can create abundance, like I can say that. I can create abundance with a camera, with a computer, and a phone. I can go anywhere in the world, do anything I want, and I don't really have to. Ooh, they're going to hate me for this. I don't really have to do anything. I could sit on those old videos already, and it just went out like that. I made 2,000 videos. I just sleep, and check shows up at the end of the month. I can go anywhere I want. Guess what? I started planning it out like 10 years ago. I didn't even know what a computer was. I'd never even seen a computer. I'd never seen a phone. I'd never been on camera. And I already knew that my job was online. And I'd never even touched the computer. But I was coming to me and I saw it. I said, this is what I'm going to create. And I'm going to be free. And now I'm free. I can go anywhere I want. I got to finish up my contract with Sunny, but after that, I have nowhere to go. I don't owe anyone anything anywhere. I have 2 children, and I'm obligated to pay child support. That's it. Other than that, I can go take my clothes off, wander off, and never see me again, and I don't owe anyone nothing. Nobody owes me nothing. I sleep every night, not owing anything to anyone, anywhere. Imagine that. Oh, Lord have mercy. I have a truck, they can come take that, or I can get a new one. I mean, it's just freedom. And it can be done. If I can create that 10 years ago, and I met this girl, and she bought me my first phone, and it was a stupid little thing I couldn't work, that I could never figure it out, and I could never figure out the computer, and I still don't know how the computer. That's why Zach is here editing the videos on the computer, because I don't want to even touch that damn thing anymore.
So you would say that's the turning point from being basically drinking like a bum is what you kind of referred to yourself as.
I was a drunk.
You were a drunk and you ate at
Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box. Extra
And
pickles.
this.
And then so that Essene Gospel, that was the turning point.
Yeah, but I didn't get sober right away. I mean, it took me a while. Couldn't deal with my feelings. You know, now I still have the avocado addiction, but I'm breaking that up. That's my last addiction. Avocados. So I'll eat like 3 or 4. Oh, I'm sad. I'm having a bad day. I'll just have my avocados. But then it just gets, it sticks. The emotions stick. It's like, just cry. Get pissed off. You don't have to beat anybody up, but just be sad, be depressed, and live there with it and walk through the day. Instead of, oh, I'm going to smoke something, drink something, hump something, buy something, do something, other than feel this. But I like to just sit there and feel it. Experience it out. That's what Dr. Hawkins says, experience it out. So you're so depressed because you buried that stuff so long ago when you were a kid. I'm not worthy. I'm not worth it. I'm not lovable. For some of us, love is like a yearning, but you never expect to ever be loved back. I don't know who's had that, but when I had that meditation, yeah, when you're just like, all love to you is just a yearning a giving everything you got, a performance. Like you're not worthy? Just for what you are? We're still working on that. Like we are worthy. But it's just, we gotta do the work here that you guys are doing. Trim the trees, man, and say you're not. And learn. And tell yourself every day, God loves me. He created me just the way I am. Skinny, fat, slow in your head, whatever. We just got to find a way to love ourselves exactly the way we are. And I'm the poster boy for that. Because I'm surrounded by people who are like, dude, you are so awesome. And I'm like, well, you only really do. I just want to be like that. I just want to show that. Like, food is cool, but just love. If anybody has anything they want to teach me about real, divine, unconditional love, I'll be all ears, you know. Whatever that is, that's what I'd love to experience in my heart. You got the glow.
What do you put in your food besides energetically? What do you put in the food?
You know what that is, though? I don't even think about that. I think about every little, like, salt. Every little, here's the lemon. It's like an art that just comes from so deep down inside of me. It's like I was meant to make food for people.
That's true.
And so it is love, and that's the number one ingredient in all that food, and that's why it digests better. If you go to a raw food restaurant, you got some little hippie dude that doesn't even eat raw food. He's like a skinny. I'm serious, and they just use the nuts, and they didn't soak it, and they didn't think about, and there's mold on the nuts, or there's too many cashews. I'm serious. It's like it's all fresh with me. It's got to be hot. It's like I'm not gonna. I've gone through the transition phase. But if I was going to eat the gourmet transition, this is what I would want. And I wouldn't want to go to a raw food restaurant where they don't put the love into it. And it's like this heavy lump that sits in your gut. But this here is like, this dude just put his heart and soul. And so that's what we know, that's when we know we're living right. Like I'm able to, because I love that food. I love salt and spices and all the sauces and everything. But with where I'm at, I'm trying to just purify my heart. So the fruits, they feed your brain. The fruits feed your brain. The herbs cleanse your blood. And then if you want to have some root vegetables or some fats, that'll ground you out. You know? But it's nice to be elevated and learn how to be grounded by just taking your shoes off so you can be that wild animal human being whose brains did grow from fruit, period. I mean, fruit just is the ascending food. And the herbs are the purifiers. And so when we just eat fruits and herbs, we're living in the garden, and you'll see it happen. It's happening to me right now. And it happens to me like I'll just drink lemon ginger blast for a week at a time. And you just get clear, but you have to be brave because there's a whole stack of stuff that needs to be released so that you can get to that love that's our true nature, right? I love sharing like this. It's what I feel is really good. So I appreciate you sharing your time.
Yeah.
Because this is when I get to feel the presence and kind of set myself aside. I'm here, but there's a desire to speak of something that's beyond. And then I get to live in that space, you know? So I appreciate the chance to. Questions about raw foods, or everybody wants to?
My question is about that releasing, because when you say be brave, it's true. I mean, that's what I've experienced, you know, and that's the big challenge, because I know what living foods feels like and does, and it's phenomenal. I mean, there's nothing else to describe it. I mean, there's no words to really fully say what that feels like in the body. But that, when things are coming up and that's so raw to be in that. Oh my God, I'm in my life and I'm around, you know, I'm in the world out here with, it's the most vulnerable thing, and then stuff comes up and I feel like, okay, I'm going to lose my mind right now, and I won't find my way home or something.
You get a little too high.
Uh-huh.
You get a little too clear. And you gotta sit there and you're like, is this me or is this room, all the people in this room? A lot of times it's like, you get clear that it's just the people in the room, and you're just conducting electricity and the vibration. And then, but you know, the food kind of buffers that. It's an insulator. And then you can walk outside and then you're by yourself again, and then your auric field opens back up. It happened to me last night, you know, because the vibration, and then you're just picking up everybody's stuff because you're that clear. So you have to be brave, you have to be true, you have to be aligned with something beyond yourself. And to become clear of the loop that we all get stuck in. And that's why I think that the raw food thing for me, with so many people like, well, this dude isn't just like putting together like soap nuts and seeds here, he's talking about something else. And it was always about that. That was the first spiritual book I ever read. And I was hit by a light. It surrounded me, and then I was like, well, this is what I gotta do. So it was always about fast and pray until the Lord of the house returns. In other words, like clean out your body and fast and pay your debt until your true self takes you over, and you live in that space where it's just guiding you, and then, oh, that person, no, it's automatic. It's not like you sit there for 6 months and have a funky ass relationship with this person. Do I like this person? What can I get from them? What can they give to me? And you're just like, nope. You know, you're just so tapped in. So for me, everything got to here. This is where I've gotten just like with the raw foods, and now it's trying to just bust my calf. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm on the fruit. That's why I'm on the fasting. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because the world will try to get you with the vaccines, and then you do the meth and the cocaine and all the hallucinogens and everything like that, and all your wires are crossed, and you're not producing those brain chemicals, that neurochemistry that activates all the other chakras to blow them wide open. So you're just like, and you're just like pure, clean, open, tapped in. Yeah, you might need to go to the forest, but then you want to find you until the Lord of the house returns. Until you know your own true, real self as an experiential experience. That's the divine way. Then you know. Then you never take anything personally. You have a greater understanding of the world. So I use the food trip to find the God. But I use the food as a drug for many years, as a lot of us do. And so I have to be understanding like what is physiological necessity of the consumption of food, which is a lot less than we think. And I know that because I've lived off nothing but enzymes and lemon water for a week and had more energy than any time I ever ate, and cleared out hella stuff off my nervous system. And that was only 7 days. Imagine if you went 40, like these masters do over there. It's the 35th day, and after the 35th, the last 5 days of a 40-day water fast, that's where you start pop, 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 and you become. That's when the Lord of the house returns. That's when you know who you are, and then nobody gets in your way. And you can just love, and you have that knowledge. And I think that every human being would be so much happier and fulfilled. All their relationships would be better, because they would be whole. You had a question?
Yeah, I was just thinking of, curious about like when you get infection in your body, like here on the islands, staph infection is something that people can get. And when I ended up getting it on Maui, I was, thinking, oh, I need to fast, or I need to do juice, and which I was basically doing leading up to that point. And my friends around me were like, you need to eat something, you're losing a lot of weight. There was just I was kind of at odds with myself, because prior to getting the infection, my diet was so clean. It was juice and raw foods and things like that. I don't really know what was going on with that.
I had a similar experience like 6 months ago. I almost died. And I was eating better then. Hell, I was just drinking nothing but orange juice. But I had so much stress.
Yeah, I think that's
I was going through this thing, stressed out. And when we're stressed, our immune system is down. Our adrenals are just, we live in that world. We live in the world of cortisol, stress, and adrenal overload. thank God for this place. Thank God I just went to Ashland, Oregon, got this little room with a hot spring and said, screw the world. I just quit making videos. I just got off the phone, got off the computer. It's like the computer is like weird for me now. The phone is like, you know, it's just, because it's just your access to a world full of people who do not have Christ consciousness and your best interest, that want to saturate you and fill you and bless you. It's more like, here's my projected, and then you got Facebook and YouTube, and it's your whole career. And I'm like, I should have rethought this 10 years ago. But now I got Zach to handle everything right now, and I don't have to look at it. Because I don't really want to know if you like me or if you don't like me. You know, because I'm still trying to work that out myself. See what I mean? And that's the social media. Like there's your little trick. That's cool to show you. But see, I'm judging me, now you're judging me. Man, we hate me. You know? But it's like, but I'm trying to learn to love me. But I would never do that to you. I would never say about your mama. Your mama's so fat she got a little pillowcase for socks. You know, I would never say that as a joke. That's no more jokes. So yeah, the social media, man. It's like, it's great because I'm free. I post my videos, I do my work. It's like, why are you trying to advertise? Well, because I got kids, and when I tell you about the probiotics and enzymes that I use, it's cool. It's the world. What you gonna do? Sit there in your monk position and expect the checks to come out of the sky? You gotta kind of do something. You like, for the people on the YouTube right now, if they're watching this video or whatever, it's like, I've been in puppet mode. I'm just a robot right now, just going through the motions, because I want to talk to you about my love for the living God. But I don't know if y'all are ready for that, or if that's going to mess up my career, and I'm going to be able to feed my kids, or what. I'm like a preacher man, saying, fall in love with your own heart. Let's fall in love with each other to the best of our little ability and love each other how much we can. I mean, who am I? I'm saying I'm a nobody, but if I was that, that's what if you wanted me to say, what do you want to be? I'd be like, I'd be a dude that teaches people to love themselves, and I would love myself so much that my cup would be overflowing, and then I would uplift everyone in the room when I walked in. That's what I would be if I could be. That would be the conscious choice that I would make, because that sounds better than I'm a victim, I'm a slave to this thing, I have a really pretty prison, want to come in, I have a big screen TV and comfy pillows. I'm talking about freedom. And if anybody knows how to really get there to where you're like, oh, I have $10 million, or I don't have nothing in the pot to piss in, because when I was on the street, I remember thinking, man, all these dudes, I'm homeless, it sucks. I'm like, I'm homeless and it's awesome. You know what I mean? Because I could do anything. I just want to drink beer and smoke weed and figure out what I want to do with myself, you know? Because being free was the most important thing. That was a decision I made. I'm never going to lose my freedom. And now that freedom, that understanding of what true freedom is, has evolved. Now it's like, oh, I want to be free from the prison of my own mind. So free from the attachments and the addictions and the aversions to this world. To be free right now. Like, I have less worry on the island of Hawaii than I've had in a long time. I'm like, maybe I should move here. Because I haven't even worried that much at all. I don't even care. Come and take it all or whatever. I mean, I got the kids, but that's all set up. I could never work again, and I'll have the little YouTube videos, and I'll have enough in my child support, their roof over their head, they'll have food, and I can just walk around barefoot.
You saw all these fruit trees, that's what got you, huh?
I can live out alone for months, you know, and eat these fruit trees, and there's got to be some herbs around here somewhere. Yeah, so thanks a lot, everybody, for taking the time to share with me and let me do my thing, because that's what lights me up. You know what I mean?
I'm going to say this just because I need to hear it myself.
Word.
But I think people take their cues from you. So if you love yourself, they love you. And that's my belief system, so it
That's
works.
the truth. There it is. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that we shouldn't have to perform anymore for love. I think that we are worthy of being loved without having to put out any effort. See, that was what it was for me. I thought love was like this hard-ass thing you had to work at, and beg for, and perform. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Don't you just want to, like, love me? Can I just be lazy and not do anything and have you still love me? Because I'm tired. Like, I'm like spiritually tired. Like, physically, you saw me playing frisbee yesterday. I've got plenty of that. But I'm like, I just want to be loved for no reason at all. For nothing. I just want to be like lazy and loved. Like, I'm a performing monkey all these years. You know what I mean? I'm just not ready for it. If you don't love me, that's your loss. Because I'm the most lovable teddy bear, toothpick teddy bear that ever walked the face of the earth. And if you love me, and you hang with me, you're going to eat good. You're going to be spoiled rotten. And I'm not talking about just women. I'm talking about my friends. I'm talking about my mama. I'm talking about everybody. You're going to be taken care of around the D-man. Because the food's going to be there, the love's going to be there, the warmth, the joy, always the desire to connect with God. There's going to be good things happening. Because I'm not going to change those things. Abundance. That's my middle name, baby. And
Let's
you
all
take it.
send Dan some praise and thank you and love.
I love to share in this way. So that's why I want to open up and have this opportunity sometimes. So thank you so much.
Thank you, that was brilliant.